I told you, I told you, I told you, baby, baby. I told you, baby.
Hey, hot people. It's Nanika and Sorry of Just One Hot Mom, bringing you that fire, that flavor, that heat, all things saucy to your neighborhood and around your world. Today, I am really excited to be in the studio with someone I can consider a friend, Miss Stacey Malone. Can you say hi to the people?
Hey, everyone.
Stacey is the creator, the director, the writer, the actor. The credits go on and on of a new web series coming out called Now What?
Yes.
Now What?
Now what?
Now What? And so the web series, can you tell us a little bit about it? Like, give us some secret details.
Okay, I can't give you too many secrets because
Okay.
y'all got to tune in. But the show is about a woman named Jasmine who finds out that she's pregnant. And so she decides to tell the father that night, but unbeknownst to her, the father is actually coming over to break up with her because he's reconnected with his old high school girlfriend and he got to give it another shot with her. So now what is Jasmine going to do?
Okay, so wait a minute. She's pregnant. He breaks up with her. Now what? Okay, I don't even know what to say to that one. Like, what do you do? Do you tell him? Don't you tell him? Like, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I have stalked the trailer for this series because I have just told Stacey, I've been trying to figure out so many things. And I think the one thing that Stacey isn't telling us, but it is on the trailer, is that she finds out she's pregnant. Man dumps her. But Stacey got a date, or Jasmine, that's the character. Jasmine has a date that night. And so I'm like, in my mind,
All
thinking
in one
like,
week she got
right.
this all happens in 1 week.
I'm like, Jasmine is straight savage. Like,
A
what
little
is
bit, a little savage-ish.
It's savage-ish, right?
Savage-ish.
And so,
Savage adjacent.
how did you develop the idea for this series?
Well, a lot of my ideas all kind of come the same way. It normally starts with just sort of one scene, and then it kind of spreads from like an ink blot almost. You know, like if you take a pen and put it on a piece of paper and that just kind of grows. That's how a lot of my stories come in. That just started with what if, let's say, if a woman found out that she was pregnant. And so, okay, well, she's going to tell the father, but what would be a nice little oops kind of situation to kind of put a wrench in that plan of hers. And I thought, well, what if he's breaking up with her? What is someone going to do in a situation like that?
And, you know, this is someone's life for real.
And,
like,
you know, it's crazy. A lot of people have been telling me, like, either they had a cousin or a sister or they have a friend that actually have gone through something similar where they found they're pregnant and then they get dumped. I was like, oh, well, I thought I'm making up
you didn't
stuff.
think that was that prevalent, huh?
Right. So I think that the story is going to be very relevant for a lot of people because it's more than just about, someone being pregnant, but it's what happens when the unexpected happens and what do you do and how do you handle it? And everyone has those kind of moments. It can be a new job. It can be, a baby. It can be a relationship, a new relationship, ending a relationship. That moment of now what do we do?
And see, that's a good question. I think a lot of people think of like now what? Like you get that serious, like even just saying it, sitting here, I'm like, now what? Like what's the next half of this? So I'm curious. I cannot wait. Can you give us like the details? Like when does this drop? When is it out?
Well, we are going to drop in August. We will let you know exactly the date. It's probably going to be like the 3rd or 4th week of August. We're still figuring out exact dates, but it's going to be once a week. And we have 13 episodes for you guys. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm so excited to see. It's like, I need to know, like, how many dates she goes on, who's the baby daddy. Like, I have so many questions, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait with the rest of y'all and find out what's going to happen. And so we were having this conversation earlier. Like, so Stacey and I, let me tell you guys, we have a little bit of history together. Stacey and I, we attended high school together, and we attended a very prestigious, I like to say, high school that no longer exists.
We'll go with that.
And so it no longer exists. But what I found out is that we went to all girl high school, first of all.
Catholic
high school. Right. And what I found out though is that women, I don't know if this might just be me, women that attended schools like that where, there wasn't a distraction of boys or things like that have just been taking everything by storm. And so seeing you come in here being the actor, the creator, the director, I'm like, okay, it's true. We're still doing it. We're taking everything by storm. So you developed this idea. you get this web series going, and like, what made you like? Would you just wake up one morning like, oh, I'll become a director? I'm gonna become an actor. Like, what got you started?
What got me started? Oh, that's a long question. Okay, so well, I've always sort of done it anyway. When I was little, I used to make movies with my Barbies. My dad was someone who he acts as well, and so therefore, a lot of times like he'd come with ideas and wake up in the middle of the night and like, hey, I got an idea. And so growing up with that and that being playtime with the video camera, and then I never really thought about it being a career. I really sort of just thought of it something fun. And actually, I didn't think about acting as a career until I got to Regina, to be honest. The first day. We have Regina High Day,
Right.
okay? And Regina High Day is the day we celebrate Regina, and there's always the drama club puts on this performance. I'd never been in an organized drama sort of thing. I'd only done things, at home with my dad. And so we get up there and I go, okay, we're going to do this thing, and we had to come out, and it was a thing where, okay, we had to sing like 2 all beef patty special sauce.
I think I remember this.
Okay, and so that was my first thing in front of an audience ever. I opened up the door, and it's the whole school looking at me. I do the part, everyone starts applauding, and I was like, oh, this bae. This is it. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, is that I need this fuel. And so I decided I wanted to be an actor. Went to college on acting and got cut from the acting program.
Ooh.
I enjoyed college a little too much. Kids always remember why you're in school. And so I enjoyed college a little too much. I got cut, but it was a humbling experience for me, and it just kind of let me know that I didn't have to go to acting school to be an actor. And then it wasn't until later when I got pregnant. And I lost a job in 2008. And I was like, well, I really want something that could be securing, because job security is a big deal. Especially because the recession was happening. So everyone wants to create their own thing. I wanted to be a business owner. I don't like people telling me what to do.
I get that.
You know what I mean? I would be at jobs and they'd be like, I need you to do this. And I'd be like, why I got to do this? Because it's your job.
Why can't someone so do it? Right. That's what I'm wondering.
But I want to be the boss. That's just my type A person. So, so one day I was like, well, let me try writing a script. Why not try? I mean, the worst thing that can happen is that it's bad, and then I know I can't write scripts. So I wrote my first script, and it was a film called A Split Second, and it was a female-dominated character, and I won an award for it. So I was like, oh,
Kudos.
okay, this is pretty good.
I can do this now.
Okay, well, then I took it the next step further. So I wrote a script. Then I said, well, let me try doing a series. So I wrote a series called The Greek Chronicles, which came out in 2013.
And I am familiar with The Greek Chronicles. Mm-hmm. I am very familiar.
Another connection we
have. My cousin is actually an actor in Stacey's other film, The Greek Chronicles. You can check it out on YouTube.
And he helped me edit my trailer that you love so much.
For Now What? So with all that going on, so you lose a job, you decide to do this. You know, were you scared?
Yeah, I mean, I was, but luckily, by the grace of God, I have an amazing mom. She's, awesome. I mean, our mom's is great. And she was like, I said, well, I really want to quit my job, because I gotten another job from that point, but I was trying to do that. I was trying to work and do like acting and directing and all that stuff, and the way my job was, someone's gonna have to give, and this was in 2013. Something's got to give. So I was like, well, Mom, I really want to quit my job. Can me and Mason stay with you? and
as a mom, your mom was like,
no, she was like, yeah, she was like, she believes in what I can do. She believes in that I'm gonna make it. And so she was like, yeah, I'm gonna give you some time and just try to do what you can. And a lot's happened. In a year after I did it, maybe 2 weeks later, I got my first directing job, and I directed a play that was a little off Playhouse Square.
Okay.
And
off.
Way off Playhouse Square. But it was my first directing paid gig, and then I got another job acting, and then the series came up, and just a lot of things started rolling from there. And so I knew it was a good sign. It was a good choice of mine. So I knew it was the right thing to do.
So now we're going to get into this conversation, because I'm interested in knowing this. In an industry that is male dominated, where we have African American females who you and I discussed we pick like our handpick, like you're going to only see so many. So we have Taraji, who is slaying Cookie.
Yes.
Slaying Cookie. And then we have Carrie, who I always tell people, like, I'm going to Olivia Pope you.
Right. Okay.
And
That's
then we
right.
have Viola, who I would
Yes.
love to be my attorney. But you
Right.
only see so many of us in films. And so, you know, we were discussing like how we've had to create our own spacing.
Yeah.
And with creating this web series, did you find, like, was it a struggle creating your own space?
No, I mean, for me, it really wasn't a struggle, because I don't want to say I'm conceited, but in a sense.
No, go ahead, be conceited.
Well,
I am.
I'm confident in my abilities. I'm confident in what I can do, and you know, if anyone was not someone who, was not. I'm trying to think of the right way to say this.
No, just say it. Rip the Band-Aid off.
Okay, all right. Well, if they weren't going to do what I needed them to do, or if they had a problem with the way that I handle the stuff, well, you don't have to be there.
Oh, so you wanted to be Boss Bae.
Yeah, I mean,
And if somebody couldn't take you as Boss Bae.
yeah, but I'm not a difficult person to work with either. You know, and I know my personality. I'm very understanding. I'm very easy at compromising with people. So so I'm not worried about that. I was going to have an attitude with folks, and normally if I say something, you know, I'm stern and direct, but I always put a little bit of humor to it. Therefore, they can feel a little more calm about my dictation.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
Delivery.
Because you know what it is? People will be like, I don't want to work with her because she's the angry black woman. So I'm like, I want to put that to rest. Like,
Right.
we are not angry black women.
Exactly.
It's just that when I know what I know, when I want what I want, I should be able to tell you that, and it shouldn't be a problem.
Right. Don't try to talk me out of it. You can give me a suggestion, and I'll take the suggestion. I may not do it. I'll take it. But you know.
And you want people to be all right with, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? So I always like her to get it. But I was thinking in the back of my mind, like, this is a hard industry. Like, here it is. I'm like, I'm developing a YouTube channel.
Right.
I'm developing a podcast.
Yeah.
And so it's really hard to get into this. When we return momentarily, I want us to go in deeper about black women in film.
All right.
Hey, hot people, you're here with Just One Hot Mom, and Stacey Malone is in the studio with me. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Hey, hot people. Welcome back to Just One Hot Mom, the podcast. I'm Nanika Ansari in the studio with Stacey Malone, and we are discussing her web series, Now What? Now that we're back, though, I told Stacey, let's rip the Band-Aid off.
Okay.
Let's really take it off, and let's talk about African-American women in the film industry. And so we already talked about how there are only a select few of us that get TV time, that get movie time. And so my question is, it's like, oh, you know what? You act just like Taraji. You know what? You want to be Cookie? And Stacey and I were just talking, like, we don't want to be labeled into a group. Like, we are all out here doing amazing things. There's enough room for everybody. When people compare you to another woman, like, let's say she is the next Issa Rae, you know, so what is your response?
It is flattering because you do understand that they do see the potential in you, and that you can go. They do see that you do have a star ahead of you, but no one. I don't want to be anyone else. I want to be Stacey, you know. And I don't like to feel like people want to compare other people. I think that almost makes a comparison if you're trying to be the next something else. I'm trying to just be myself. I'm just trying to stay in my lane.
And see, I think
hope
that's
that you
where
enjoy
people lose it. They're like, okay, so we can only be confined to being like each other. And to break outside that box means that we opened up a whole new world to so many different women. And so I have to agree with you. Like, well, I always tell people, I was like, oh, I don't really believe in competition. And people are like, oh, yes, you do. And I'm like, no, I really don't. The only competition I generally see is myself in the mirror, me going to the next level and the next height and whatever it is I want to do. And so I was curious, like when people compare, they get these names, you know what I'm saying? Because Insecure is popping.
Yeah, I mean, I love the show.
And you know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna knock her. I'm not gonna say anything. You know what I'm saying? I love this series. I thought it was really amazing. I thought she had grown a lot from Awkward Black Girl.
If you guys are not familiar,
right? Extremely. I loved how just to show how much she had grown from them, which is a testament. That's what we should be doing. But like I said, I don't want to be someone else.
And that's the thing. I was like, I think we need to start. So like earlier when we were talking, and I'm like, we basically had to build our own studio, build the door, lock it, and then kick it in order for people to see like we are about to take over. And let's be clear, like Black Girl Magic is everywhere lately. Like you can't even walk down the street without it being sprinkled somewhere. It's everywhere. People don't recognize it. And I think that it was slept on for so long that now they think it's something new. Do you think it's something new, or do you think it's always been there and it's just now it's the popular thing?
I think Black Girl Magic's always been there. I mean, let's look at some of the Black women who have done amazing things, like Madam C.J. Walker. Let's look at the hair. Like, that's magic. She made some. I mean, we all know what our hair looked like on the natural days, and she made some magic stuff. That's nothing but magic to make your hair lay down.
Amen.
So I think that Black women have always done magical stuff. I just think that now, finally, with social media, it's able to be more broadcast and more thrown on people than it was
It's in
before.
your face now.
It's in your face
That's
now.
the thing. And I don't want to say, like, I don't think we're forcing it on people. I get a lot of like, I always do hashtag Black Girl Magic. And I was like, I'm not forcing it on you, but I'm letting you know that it's here and it's here to stay.
Right.
So before you say, because somebody's like, that could be offensive. And I don't find me being me and being confident in who I am. I don't think you should be offended by that. Embrace it, because I'm embracing me.
See, I think that some people think it's offensive because they're afraid that, like, they can't say, like, white girl magic, or they can't say, you know what I'm saying, but you can say it. That's the thing about it.
Be magic in your own right.
Right, so you can say, it could be, I don't know what other ethnicities say, because I'm not going to say anything, but you could be, whatever magic it is, it's just, I don't see there's a problem with celebrating that we're Black.
Taking pride in who you are.
That we're magical. I don't think there's
and that
nothing
we're
wrong with
women.
that. Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, we're women and we're doing this thing.
I mean, to be honest, Black women are at the bottom of the barrel. Let's keep it
real. Go ahead.
Okay. If you think about, let's just say in the powerhouses, you got, white men are on top, Black men, then you got the women, and the white women go come first. And Black women is last. That's just
I'm not disagreeing with you.
So we have to keep striving. We can't wait for anybody. We can't, wait for something to get handed to us. We have to go after it. And that's why we are magical, is because we're not going to sit back. We're not going to wait. We're going to go after what it is we want. We've had to do that since we were slaves.
All our lives. Whether it's at home, right? Whether it's at home, whether it's at work. It's not, I tell people, I hate to say that it's a struggle. I don't like to say that it's a struggle, but I would like to say it's just it's hard work and persistence. So me being persistent in what I want to do shouldn't downplay what you're doing. Exactly. You can do what you want to do. Be magical. But I want to celebrate what I'm doing in my own magic.
Right.
And so we're in this entertainment industry. I'm putting myself in the entertainment industry.
You are.
Be entertained. And
I've been entertained thoroughly.
Oh, thank you. And so being in the entertainment industry is quite different. Like, I feel like sometimes people expect you to be passive. One, because you're a woman. Two, because we are creating our own opportunities. And if you have to create it yourself, then there's nothing for you out there.
Right.
And so how do you feel like...
take it.
Right. So how do you feel when people are like, okay, you could do that? You know when people do this to you. Okay, sweetie, do your little website.
I've heard that.
I've heard little.
People say little. It puts flames on the side of my face. But I just bring it in. I'm like, no, thank you. Yeah.
Can you explain to the people?
You don't get it. It's okay.
What the word little does when you add it to something?
It makes it small. It makes it insignificant. It makes it that it's not important because it's small. It's little. It's not. It's a big deal.
And see, I think
a lot of hard work.
As women of color in this industry, nothing we do is little. Everything we do has to be attacked in a way. And people like the word attack, not in a fighting sense, because I don't want to get the angry Black woman, but it has to be approached. Let's say approached in such a way where we have to be willing to push ourselves no matter what. So no matter if you're a mom and you're trying to start a new business, or if you're a single woman and you're trying to break into a male, whatever it is, is we have to push ourselves to the next level. And so I think when you say, oh girl, you got your little YouTube channel over there, it's annoying when they don't understand the work.
Well, people have to remember that Black women have been, we've been magical, but we've been passive for a long time. We were slaves, we had to be passive. Master coming in, we had to be slaves with our children being sold off. We had to be passive when, back in the 60s when, we couldn't sit in the front of the bus and we had to, watch our kids get, burnt up in buildings and stuff. So we've had to be passive for a long time. I think it's okay now
to be magical. Well, hot people, we're going to take a break and you guys are going to come back and get some more of this Black Girl Magic as we continue to talk with Stacey Malone, the creator, the director, the everything to the web series Now What. Stay tuned.
Now What?
Hey, hot people, you're listening to Just One Hot Mom, the podcast. I'm Nanika Ansari, and I'm in the studio with Stacey Malone, the one and only creator, director, whatever it is you want to be on this web series, she's got it handled. And we're talking right now about Black Girl Magic. And so when we last came in, we were just talking about how people don't understand the work and the push and the drive.
Yes.
You have to have. So I'm going to ask you this question. I'm finding I'm asking a lot of, because you're a mom.
Yes.
How old is your son?
He's 6.
6. Oh.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, and because I get this question a lot, and because I have to work a lot, do you feel like you can have it all? And when I say have it all, so let me loop this around for you.
Give me the list of all.
So, do you feel like you can have the significant other, the house, the car, the kids, the finances? Do you feel like you can have it all? Because for me personally, I'm creating what I think my all is.
I think that I could one day. I think it's a process. I don't think I can work on all of them at once. So right now, the significant other part is not on my big to-do list right now. But I think that I could, if I really want to, I think I could.
And see, so I'll tell you this, like, I think that we can have it all. But the thing that gets put to the side, I believe is the one thing that we sacrifice, and guys are not going to like this, is the significant other piece. And okay, so as Black women in this industry, we're not even cracking the glass ceiling. We're like punching it down. It's shattering. We cleaning the mess up, shattering another one. When you work, like I want to say, like we work, because you're developing something completely new that's special to you. Why is it that we can't get that significant other part right? Ooh, see,
that's a tough one. Because there to me, what first came to my head is two different things. Either one, guys tend to be like children in the sense that they want a lot of attention, and it's kind of hard if you if you have, I have a lot to do with this series, and I also have to be a mom, and I have to make sure I'm a good mom to him, because this is my legacy coming out of this world. Like what he ends up being reflects on me and how I raised him. And so that's a very big motivation in my head for everything I do. So for me, it's like, it's just not a priority to me right now.
And so let's say, so being a single woman in this industry can not be easy, because one, people automatically, so I told Stacey I was going to tell her a story.
Okay.
So I'm at work one day and this lady is like, can you tell me why when Black women have to tell you something, they like twist their head and, get on. And I tried my best to answer her without doing it. Like, I want to be straight. I'm not going to twist my head or anything like that. And I was like, people have a lot of assumptions. I think we get a lot of assumptions from the men in our lives, from the other people that work with us. Like, this is just how she's going to be. How are you beating that stereotype where people want to just put you in this block? Like, this is how all Black women are. And this is how Black women are in this industry.
I don't know. I'm a real people person in general. That's normally, that's one of my strong suits, is that I get along with people. I'm very outgoing. And so I think that a lot of times when I meet people, I get them to know my personality so much in that, let's say, first 5 seconds of meeting me, 10 seconds of meeting me, that now they're not thinking black woman. They're not thinking stereotypes because I've given them all of me, almost, in a sense, to where now it's Stacey. It's not the black woman.
Miss Stacey,
it's
right?
Stacey.
You know, the black chick, Stacey. The author, the director, the creator. Because you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to get looped into just being like,
but
I am a black woman, but that's not all there is to my identity. There's so much more. And so I'm like, but what I am learning is in doing like the podcast and the YouTube channel is that people want to loop you in. Like, you can only fulfill one category. And I'm like, I don't want to just be one mind. Like, I'm not just a mom. I'm just a hot mom.
Right.
But that's not it. Like, if you meet me, you'll learn more about me. And so what would be some advice? Because we have some little girls out there who are watching. We have some women that are our age out there watching that are thinking about making a career change or who have a dream and they're scared to move forward with the dream. What advice would you give to them?
Well, number one, I always look at life like jumping off a diving board. You know, you're scared up there, but once you jump off that diving board and you hit that water, it's all smooth sailing. I mean, you know, I think anything that you want to do, you can do. I've always been that way. I've always had a fearless sort of, when I was younger, I was really, really fearless. Like, not afraid to do anything, not afraid to talk to anyone, not afraid to try anything. In high school, I got a little bit fear because puberty and teenage years. Right. And I had to actually kind of train myself again how to not be scared,
right?
Because I forgot that used to be like, I didn't care about it. Now I go ahead and do it. You say, who wants to jump off? I'll jump off it. And I forgot about that for
You're better than I am. I'm so terrified of heights. Like, even the thought of you just saying that, like, but it's a leap. It's a leap of faith.
It is. If you're confident, you know this once that you want to do. I mean, your life is
it's long, but it's short.
You never, because you don't know. And so you don't want to look back at your life and realize that you didn't do something that you want to do. I don't like regrets. That's probably one of my biggest fears is regretting stuff that I've done.
So, Stacey, how can we reach you? So the web series is dropping in August. It's called Now What? Yep. If people want to contact you with questions, how can they reach you?
They can reach me on Instagram. You can reach me at mzmalone81. On Facebook, it's Stacey Malone. On Facebook, you can do Now What. You can type in at 1221 ENT Now What, and you can follow us there. Or on Instagram, it's Now What _web series. Snapchat, you can follow me on Stacey You Better Know It. I probably should get like all of them to be the same thing. But
right. It's hard though. It's hard.
It's hard because someone takes my name.
And you know what? Well, we're going to drop your information here. So if you guys are following, you first of all, go to the Just One Hot Mom YouTube channel and subscribe. Hit that like button and follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Just One Hot Mom and Twitter, Just One, the number one Hot Mom. And so, and also my blog page, justonehotmom.com. So, and you'll be able to pick up Stacey's information there. I am so happy that you came in the studio today.
I'm so happy you invited me.
I'm so happy to see you, and I cannot wait, 1, to make it to this premiere.
Yes.
2, to find out what happens with Jasmine, because I need to know, does she get a man? Does she not get a man? So you guys, when it's time to drop this series, we're going to be all over it, because we need to figure out now what.
Now what?
So thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it, and let's keep in touch.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone, for listening in today. This is Just One Hot Mom, the podcast. Check us out on YouTube at Just One Hot Mom, the channel. Thanks for tuning in.